This is IGN. Avatar: Fire and Ash launches to $345 million at the global box office. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, the debut trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey has revealed a first look at characters played by Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, and Matt Damon. The Odyssey, written and directed by Nolan and due out July 17, 2026, is based on Homer's saga and is described as a mythic action epic shot across the world using brand new IMAX film technology. The Odyssey stars Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, and Lupita Nyong'o, with Zendaya and Charlize Theron. The Odyssey is Nolan's 13th film, after previously helming Following, Memento, Insomnia, The Prestige, Inception, Interstellar, The Dark Knight trilogy, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Oppenheimer. Such is the anticipation for the movie that a limited number of the Odyssey tickets went on sale during the summer, a year in advance of the film opening. While Nolan has long been celebrated as one of the greatest directors of modern cinema, The Odyssey is expected to perform particularly strongly following the breakout success of Oppenheimer, the Cillian Murphy-led biopic that fueled one half of the Barbenheimer phenomenon. Oppenheimer earned a staggering $975 million during its theatrical run and walked away with Best Picture at the Oscars. And Nintendo has signaled the end of production of the eye-catching Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle 6 months after the console launched. In April, when Nintendo confirmed that the Switch 2 would cost $449.99 and Mario Kart World would cost $80, it announced a bundle that combined the two for $499.99, effectively making the launch title $30 cheaper than its standalone price. As you'd expect, this bundle proved a popular option among early adopters and helped fuel not only very strong sales of Mario Kart World, but the Switch 2 itself. Production of that bundle has now come to an end, however. Over the weekend, U.S. retailer giant GameStop announced that the Mario Kart World Switch 2 bundle will no longer be produced, in a social media post that followed the leak of an internal GameStop memo to staff signaling the change. Nintendo confirmed as much in a social media post of its own, saying Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle is available in limited quantities at participating retailers while supplies last. Mario Kart World, the Switch 2's flagship launch game, has now sold 9.57 million copies, with 8.1 million units of that total from the console's bundle. So yes, more than a million people paid $80 to buy it separately. Avatar: Fire and Ash has launched to a huge $345 million at the global box office, which is enough to secure the second largest opening weekend of 2025 so far. But it's down significantly on its predecessor, Avatar: The Way of Water, and now there are questions over whether James Cameron will get to realize his vision and make Avatar 4 and 5. Disney's Avatar: Fire and Ash opened to $88 million in North American theaters, but as with previous Avatar movies, the big money came internationally, with $257 million. In total, Avatar: Fire and Ash is behind only Disney's own Zootopia 2, which earned just shy of $500 million over the same launch period. Avatar: Fire and Ash's opening is down significantly on that of its predecessor, Avatar: The Way of Water, which saw a huge $435 million during its launch weekend in 2022. But an encouraging sign came from China, where $57.6 million came in for Fire and Ash, ever so slightly above The Way of Water's opening haul 3 years ago. The question now is whether Avatar: Fire and Ash will enjoy the staying power at theaters its predecessors did. The Avatar films tend to start strong but then pick up steam over the holidays, pulling in hundreds of millions week on week. Will Avatar: Fire and Ash do the same? The special effects heavy Avatar films cost a huge amount of money to produce, but they have historically made billions of dollars at the box office. Avatar remains the highest grossing movie of all time, not adjusted for inflation, and has earned a staggering $2.9 billion across several theatrical runs. Avengers Endgame overtook Avatar for a brief period before Avatar then stole its crown back via a fresh re-release. Avatar: The Way of Water earned $2.3 billion meanwhile, cementing it as the third highest grossing film of all time, just ahead of Cameron's own Titanic, which floats on $2.2 billion. The pressure is on Avatar 3 to deliver for Disney, so creator James Cameron can release Avatar 4 and 5 over the next 6 years. Avatar 4 is down for release on December 21st, 2029, with Avatar 5 due out December 19th, 2031. Cameron, now 71, would be close to 80 years old by the time it all wraps up. But Cameron has sounded words of caution recently. Speaking on the Town with Matthew Baloney podcast, Cameron admitted he was feeling nervous about Avatar Fire and Ash's box office performance and was mindful of the forces working against theatrical releases in 2025. There's the potential for sequelitis, Cameron noted. People tend to dismiss sequels unless it's the third Lord of the Rings film and you want to see what happens to everybody, which in my mind this is. This is the culmination of a story arc, but that may not be how the public sees it. And then there's the 1-2 punch of streaming and COVID, which means fewer people are going to the movies. 75% of the number in 2019, Cameron suggested. When pressed on how much Avatar Fire and Ash cost to make, Cameron wouldn't be drawn into divulging a figure, only suggesting it was a lot of money, so the movie will have to make a lot of money to turn a profit. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.